Hello. Today we are talking how to keep your produce fresher for longer. We have the famous glass jars. If you've been with me for any amount of time, then I know you've heard me talk about glass jars. And so today is an awesome opportunity to either remind you, wink wink, if some of those habits have been pushed to the side, and or if you are new to my community, welcome. And yes, we are going to get into how to keep your, originally I said produce, but it's really your food, as I'll start talking about in a moment, your food fresher for longer. A few things just as a heads up and some housekeeping. If you heard some licking in the background, my dog, Chloe Dog. You can go see some of her beautiful photos and reels on Instagram at Michelle Fox Love. She's in the background and she's a very loud drinker and eater. But it also makes me giggle. It tickles me. There's also somebody that's blowing their leaves outside. So, we're just going to do the best that we can. So hopefully you can hear me all right. And then lastly, if you do have any questions or comments, I promise to read them at the end and address them. So feel free to put them in the comments because the way the screen is set up right now, I cannot see any of the comments. All right. With that said, and before I jump all the way in to share some of this glass goodness, I want to share with you that today is actually the last time this year in this series of every second and fourth Thursday that I'm coming live on Facebook. The beautiful news is it's because the podcast, Healthy, Sexy Nutrition, it has grown up bigger and more beautiful than I could have possibly imagined for this time in our growth. And so a lot of my energies will be put towards the podcast in the year 2023. So I'm very excited about that. And you might be saying, well, Michelle, there's still a fourth Tuesday. Or you would say, because you're an amazing community member, you'd say, well, there's still a fourth Thursday this month. Well, what's up with that? Well, the more fun for me, selfishly I will say, is we do have our kiddos this year for Christmas. Hashtag blended families. They were with their other parents for Thanksgiving, so they will be ours for Christmas. And so because time feels like it is moving so fast, and they are all three teenagers now, you have my word, I am going to be pouring into them. We are going to Christmas like we have never Christmas before. And so all of that to say, I am going to step away from the biz for a week around the holidays, maybe 2 weeks if it ends up being really fun. We'll see how it goes. But just so you know, that is why today is our last show in this series. So if you're watching the replay and or if you're here with me live, let me know in the comments if there are any particular subjects that you want me to address on the podcast, because that is why I do it. It is for you. I want to share this delicious, nutritious, good for you information and nutrition into your earbuds so it actually gets closer into your brain so that you actually put these practices into practice. All right, so enough with the notes. Today is actually going to be pretty quick, but I'm going to go and jump into what you see here on the counter. With that said, I do have a free guide for you, michellefox.com/fresh veggies, and you'll have all of these notes at your fingertips. I actually went to visit my mom on Monday, and I saw that she had this guide printed and posted on the side of her fridge. And so just a little hip tip there. You might want to do the same just for easy reference. Okay, so let's start with this beautiful, lovely kale. Oh my goodness. Kale salad is on the menu this evening. You have my word. Every single thing you see here, I pulled out of my fridge. This is not set decoration. This is all food that I bought yesterday because we plan to eat it during the week. I do all of my meal planning, by the way, michellefox.com/planner if you want your own meal plan. So I filled out that exact same planner yesterday, did my grocery shopping, brought it home, prepped it, and so now I have all of this fresh, delicious food that we get to eat between now and next Wednesday. So, kale salad tonight. So you can see kale actually loves water. pointing back this way because that's where my garden is. We grew some kale this summer, and I did do extra water for the kale, and I did extra water for the cucumber because they love water. So with this kale, I just rinsed it, so you can see there's like water droplets in the jar. This jar is a ball jar. That's one of the questions that comes up a lot is, well, where do you find these great jars? This jar, I'm pretty sure we got this at Ace Hardware. Not expensive. I know Home Depot sells the jars, the ball jars. You can find jars even at King Soopers I've seen. A lot of the organizing stores have some really fun glass and jars. This Snapware that comes in really fun sizes it's great for leftovers, but also for veggies, which we'll get to in a moment. I got this at Costco. So really anywhere, like once you decide you want the glass jars, you're gonna start seeing it everywhere. Including if you wanna save some money, which yes, we all wanna save money, head to one of your recycling places like, well, I call it recycling. Maybe they wouldn't call it recycling, but like ARC, that's a store we have up the street. I know they always have shelves full of glass, so that's a great place to look. Hope that helps. Nuts love to be stored, and hopefully they're already going to be cleaned by the time you get them. I've never actually heard of rinsing nuts, so just because that was a segue from going to our rinsed kale, that I did take off the stem, put in the glass jar, but then I store my nuts because then they don't get rancid as soon. And so this is a great way to store your nuts in glass jars and in the fridge. That keeps your nuts fresher for longer. For my friends who are allergic to nuts, no worries, I got you. Sesame seeds, same. So I put these sesame seeds in this jar, again, to keep them fresher for longer. And for my Smarty parties, you might be asking, Michelle, why is there a label on it? Because, by the way, thank you for asking. I want to know, one, typically what's in there, which, you know, it's glass, so usually I can tell, and it's fine. But also I usually put a date on there because life, for most of us, just moves so darn fast. And so before we know it, it could be a year or two down the road, and then I'll know, okay, yeah, it's probably time to throw that out and start fresh again. So as much as you can and as much as you have capacity to do, again, I know you're very busy, but label your foods. It just helps to be able to eat those leftovers and to use your food and to save your money and to get that nutrition in your body. So these are the sesame seeds. Back to the Snapware that I found at Costco, Hot Husband's favorite store. Little, what's that word? The game, oh, it might come to me, but I'll just say a little thing you can use next time we have a game. I don't know. Let's stick with the veggies. That's the part I do know. This one actually has some cut up cucumber from last night's dinner. Angel, Steve, and I had a nice salad with our roasted pork. It was delicious. But what I wanted to tell you real quick about the cucumber is, fun fact, cucumber actually starts to lose some of its vitamin C the moment you cut into it. And so I do recommend prepping a lot of your veggies ahead of time so that when it's time to cook, you can just grab and go, make cooking quicker and easier. However, cucumber and zucchini in particular, I really want you to wait for the last possible moment if you can, because I want you to get as much of that fiber and vitamin C in your body as it's still fresh and living food. So I do have leftovers, and so I will eat this today, especially because if you've worked with cucumbers for any amount of time, you know they start getting soggy pretty fast, and I don't want to waste any food. No food waste. So I'll be eating the rest of these cucumbers a little bit later. What else? This one I wanted to show you because not a lot of people know that green onion actually loves water, and so I'll show you a little bit closer. I have about, looks like maybe 2 inches of fresh filtered water in the bottom. I just chopped off the white edges so it would stop growing, and then chopped off the green edges so that tonight, or when it is time to cook, I will just be able to grab the green onion, chop, 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 and ready to go in like 5 seconds. So that's a fun hip tip. When in my curry turkey dish, I love using these sugar snap peas because they're delicious, and I usually am like snacking on them as I'm like chopping them and trying to get the dinner on the table. But what I wanted to show you about this is I mentioned all the places where you could buy the glass jars, but I also want you to be conscientious of recycling your own glass jars. So looks like we had olives in this one, so we saved it, we cleaned it, and now I can use it for whatever I want, including sometimes I use this to put flowers in, some nice flower arrangements for the patio or for the dinner table. So I just ask you to stay curious and stay mindful of the glass that we can use to store our veggies. Let's see, this is my garbanzo flour. You can see I put the date of April 4th. Not me, I didn't put the year, but I do know for sure. It was April 4th of this year, so this is probably going to be good, this garbanzo flour, for probably even up to 2 to 3 years, but you know, the holiday season is upon us, so I will likely be using the rest of this for some delicious cookies. So even though I'm not doing this Thursday series any longer, there's a good chance you'll see me on the screen with my kiddos. Send me good energy, or maybe send them good vibes that they'll be willing to come on camera with me, and so we can bake, because it's really one of my favorite activities to do with the children. Anything else? I do have this smaller snapware of this chopped yellow pepper. This was a topping for tacos that we had. It can also be topping for baked potatoes. That's actually going to be our dinner tomorrow night. Little baked potato bar. I like to do that when we have multiple people in the house so that you can get all the nutrients in, but then people can actually choose what they want on top of their potato. Last but not least, the beautiful herbs. This one is the parsley, and we do want, similar to the green onion here, you can see they both have water on the bottom. The parsley I filled up a little bit more because herbs, really any of your herbs, your basil, your thyme, your cilantro, your parsley, they want water. And the amazing thing, why we want as much of those in our nutrition, in our bodies as possible, is because they have great detoxifying properties for our livers and for our kidneys. So yes, specifically for this season of holidays and celebrating, try to be mindful of getting the most amount of herbs in your body. Even if you're just sprinkling, like chopping them up and sprinkling them on top of, you know, your potatoes, your spaghetti, your grilled meats, your vegetables, like just anywhere you can get green herbs in, your body's begging you, please help me get them in my body. I'm speaking for your body, just in case you didn't know what that little reenactment was. But for real, any green herb you're gonna want as much as possible, in especially this season, but of course, always. You can never have too, well, that's not true. You probably could have too many herbs, but that's a whole nother episode. I doubt you're gonna have like 3 or 4 bunches of this parsley in one sitting. But as you know what I'm trying to say, try to get the herbs in as much as possible. All right, so I did promise that I would look to see if there were any comments. So let me clip here and see what we have. See if we have any questions or comments. Again, if you didn't hear me in the beginning or just want a reminder, if you go to michellefox.com/fresh veggies, you can get your own free guide and it'll walk you through everything I have on here plus more. I think I have something over like 20 vegetables that I teach you exactly what likes the water and what doesn't like the water, what can be frozen, what you definitely do not want to freeze, and just how to keep your produce fresher for longer. Okay, and apologies right now, I will tell you, comments aren't showing up here, and I have a feeling it's user error. But if I see the comments at the end, you have my word, I will respond to you within 24 hours. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. This year, 2022, has truly been one of the biggest blessings of my life. Just as some high level points, this has been my first year to go full time as a culinary nutritionist, and some doors have opened that I didn't expect to open, but it's been amazing serving you as your culinary nutritionist. The podcast, as I mentioned at the top of this hour, has been growing, and so I really hope you tune in. Any of your favorite podcast platforms. It's Healthy, Sexy Nutrition with Michelle Fox. And hopefully there's some nuggets in there that will help you to live a better life and to perhaps look at some of your current habits and learn tools to get better. And please know, I am learning right there along with you. I've got some amazing guests that we've already spoken to. I've got some amazing guests that are lined up that are truly meant to be here to support us and to help us have this journey where we do feel better about ourselves and feel better about our bodies and feel good with our energy and have our hormones balanced. So, hope you tune in. Healthy, Sexy Nutrition. And again, if you want your free guide to learn about your glass jars, michellefox.com/fresh veggies. And your girl's got you. All right, have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.